Hello, everyone. Recently, I was asked a question. I realized that I have not done a recording regarding this. The question was, which PC parts do I buy first? The thing you have to realize about building a computer is that online stores and physical stores have a return policy. Each return policy is different. Generally speaking, it's going to be a 30-day return policy. That's what I see the most of. The reason that is important is because parts can be dead on arrival or have other issues. The return policy essentially helps you with that. To answer this question, I will go through a list of parts that I would buy in order. Let's start with the screwdriver. There is a lot of screws involved with a PC build. Having a good screwdriver can go a long way. I have noticed that a ratcheting screwdriver is more helpful than a normal screwdriver. I don't know tools that well, so I'm afraid that I can't really recommend a good model or brand. All I know is that um, DeWalt's, Cobalt's, and Craftsman are some of the more common brands. The next thing I would get is a power supply tester. I have not seen any recent reviews regarding power supply testers. Um, there is reviews from years prior, and those reviews, the Thermaltake Dr. Power has shown up as being the best of the best. This is the power supply tester that I currently use. I don't use it very often, but it helps me do the process of elimination um, thing. As I said in prior recordings, a power supply unit um, can have a railing or other wire failure in its lifetime. It can still function with its other wires, so that's why it's kind of hard to tell if it's um, the power supply's fault. So yeah, I would definitely get something like this. Once you get the tools, the next thing I would look into is the operating system. Gaming PCs use Windows. The latest is Windows 10 as of this year, so far anyways. When it comes to Windows, they have upgrade options available for their operating systems. So it's pretty safe to buy the operating system and just upgrade later if you need to. Um, Windows has different versions for Windows 10. You can find a full chart like the one I'm showing here on the Windows website. It should help you figure out what you get for your money. After that, I would go after the keyboard and mice. Um, the keyboard and mice, the reason I put that right after the operating system is because it's easy to test these parts. They run on USB, so really any computer can tell if it's functioning. The Corsair Strafe for the last couple months has been the top rated, um, cheaper mechanical keyboard. The mouse I use is the Rocat Kova. I have a 2016 model and not the more recent one. Back when I got it, I think it was a 5 out of 10 on the reviews, and I've been pretty happy with it. It should be pretty easy to find reviews on mice and keyboards. So just look that up. Um, because this recording is being done on 5/26/2017, so models are going to change in the future. Moving on to the power supply unit. When it starts getting down to um, the hardware and other things, this is where I would go next. The power supply is pretty easy to test for if you have the power supply tester. I would get 750 watts if possible. If not, 650 watts is the lowest that I would go at this time. All right, next is the monitor. It all depends on what kind of PC you're packing. But if you're going for 4K, there is not really any monitors at this time for 4K gaming. You'll notice this page on Newegg. Um, there is no gaming 4K monitors in the selection yet. A lot of these are 60 hertz, so this doesn't help. But if you're going 1080, you should be able to find a good amount of gaming monitors in 1080. All right, casing. The casing is the next safest option. I've had some issues with cases over the course of my 15 years as a builder. It's certainly been rare. I would say perhaps 3 to 5 cases out of the 62 that I've worked with. Those issues range from a case fan malfunctioning to the front case wirings not working. Out of the numbers that I just gave, I would say I've only seen the front case wirings fail once. The other times it's been the case fans that have failed. If it's the case fans that fail, it's easy enough to fix. You just go out and buy a case fan if you really need to. Um, I replace my case fans as fast as possible because the manufacturers don't give you a 70 CFM fan. That's just me though. Everybody's different. The only thing I can say when it comes to cases is if you're going to work with a mid tower, make sure it has a handle, like the one that I'm showing here. This is a Cooler Master Master Case 5. Uh, then after that, I would just get the rest of the parts all together so it's easy to tell if they're working. So I would go down to the CPU, motherboard, video card, hard drive, Intel Optane if you're working with that, sound card, or a capture card. And there you have it, everybody. That is my list. I will go ahead and end the recording by talking about stores. When it comes to stores, it of course depends on the country, but if you're in the United States, I personally like Fry's. The last, I want to say, 5 years of my 15 years, I have been working with Fry's. This is where I get a good number of parts from. The reason I like Fry's is because for that time they've price matched Amazon Newegg. So it allows me to get a critical component such as the CPU um, through a physical store, which prevents me from having the issues of shipping. If I have a major issue, I just drive over and bring it right back. Um, if you're in other parts of the world, I'm afraid that I'm a bit fuzzy when it comes to Canada. As far as the United Kingdom, um, I have worked with Overclockers UK and a few other smaller stores that are like a local thing and not chain. Um, so yeah, that's another thing that I'm not really able to comment too well on, but hopefully that can give you a start on that. All right, that's all. Thanks for listening.